Hello everyone, this is Vinod Kulkarni, lecturer, Department of CS&D, Jain Polytechnic, Belgavi. So today I am going to deal with the Unit 3, Synchronization and Deadlock. So we'll see the content, synchronization, critical section problem, solution to critical section problem, semaphore, deadlock, necessary conditions for deadlock, deadlock prevention, recovery from deadlock. So synchronization, it is a process in which the system resources are shared by the processes concurrently, minimizing the chance of sharing inconsistent data. So critical section problem. So what is critical section? It consists of a system of multiple processes where each process has a segment of code. The process can be changing common variables, writing a file, reading a file. Okay. So the important feature is that when one process is executing in its critical section, no other process is allowed to execute in its critical section. So the general structure of a process is shown here. Suppose the process starts from the entry section. It is where the control will enter the process. Then the code is executed in the critical section, and after executing the critical section it will exit into the exit section. Then the remaining part of the code is embedded in the remaining section. Solution to critical section problem are, there are three solutions: mutual exclusion, progress, bounded waiting. So mutual exclusion is that suppose there is a process P which is executing in its critical section, then no other process will be allowed to execute in their critical section. Next comes progress. Suppose there is no process executing in its critical section and some other processes want to enter the critical section, then only those processes that are not in their remainder section are allowed to execute in the critical section next is bounded waiting. So for every processes there is a bound or limit which are allowed to enter in the critical section when a process has made request to enter its critical section before the request is granted. Next, semaphore. It is an integer variable which is initialized and accessed only through two atomic operations, wait and signal. Wait means S is a semaphore variable. So wait is what? Waiting for the request. So if the semaphore variable is less than or equal to 0, then no operation. Otherwise, the variable will be decremented. Signal means what? Giving a command. So when the signal operation is executed, the semaphore variable is incremented. Next is deadlock. So it is a situation where a set of processes are blocked. Suppose in a traffic, all the traffics are merging towards the signal area. So it becomes a burden which part of the traffic to be allowed to go first. Such condition is called deadlock. So here in the operating system, each process is holding a resource and waiting for another resource to acquire by the other process. So the necessary conditions for deadlock are mutual exclusion, hold and wait, no preemption, circular wait. So mutual exclusion means what? There must be at least one resource which should be held in a non-shareable mode. That is, only one process at a time can use the resource. Okay. So next is hold and wait. A process must be holding at least one resource and waiting to acquire additional resource that are currently being held by the other processes. No preemption. So resources cannot be preempted. It means what? The resources can be released only when the process is holding it after completing its task. Okay. Next is circular wait. Suppose there are a set of processes P1, P2, P3. Okay. So the P1 must exist such that it is waiting for the P2 and P2 process is waiting for the P3, and it happens in a circular fashion. Next is deadlock prevention. So there are four methods of deadlock prevention: mutual exclusion, hold and wait, no preemption, circular wait. So mutual exclusion that as I said, it must hold for non-shareable resource. For example, a printer cannot be used for sharing several processes. Okay. Next is hold and wait. It means that whenever a process requests a resource, it does not hold any other resources. So no preemption is that it should hold the condition when the resources are already been allocated by other process. Circular wait. It should impose a total ordering of all resource types to require that each process requests resources in order. Next is recovery from deadlock. So there are two methods of recovery from deadlock: process termination, resource preemption. Again, in process termination, there are two methods: abort all deadlocked processes, abort one process at a time until the deadlock cycle is eliminated. Abort all deadlocked processes means that we should break the deadlock cycle at a great expense. So here all the deadlocked processes are aborted, then the deadlock cycle is eliminated. So in the next, when one process, after each process is aborted, a deadlock detection algorithm must be invoked to determine whether any process is still deadlocked or not. So next comes resource preemption. In this there are three methods: selecting a victim, rollback, starvation. So selecting a victim means what? Here the number of resources which are deadlocked must be hold, and number of processes which are number of resources deadlock which is held by the deadlocked processes must be held, and the amount of the time the processes hold that resources must be taken into consideration. In the rollback, here the preempting a resource from each process cannot continue under normal execution, so it must have some non-shareable resources. Starvation means what? Here a victim process can be selected from a system. Then if this process doesn't complete its designated task, it results into the starvation.